Jordan Eller. I'm one of the community services manager here at Alta Regional Center, and welcome to our weekly vendor meeting called Coffee with Community Services. John Decker is on vacation today, a well-deserved vacation day for Mr. Decker, so he'll be back next week. As usual, we'll kind of get started with some staff introductions so you know which regional center staff you have on with us today. And then I will let you guys know what agenda we have planned. So I am seeing Michelle Duchesne. Good morning, Michelle. She's one of our community services managers. And I'm also seeing Alejandra and Tom from our community services department. Good morning. Christine Hobbs, our vendor coordinator. Good morning. And Miss Jessica, she's also on Helen's team in community services. Good morning to Ethan and Shauna, both from community services. I see Sharon Karpinski, our victim advocate and placement coordinator. Good morning, Sharon. And Miss Carly is on, our employment specialist. She's actually going to be sharing some good updates with us today. And good morning to Scott Barr, our quality assurance community services manager. And Max, good morning to Max, one of our case management and our adult unit. And good morning to Jason. Jason is one of our lead community services specialists. And I see our Miss Megan Qualick, our forensic specialist, is on today. Good morning, Megan. And we have Toby Golden, our intensive case management unit supervisor. Good morning to Toby. And Christy from my specialized services and supports unit. Good morning, Christy. And Miss Jaslyn from Helen's team. Good morning, also in community services. Got lots of folks on. I see Yvette. Good morning to Yvette, who's on our quality assurance team with Scott. And Miss Rhonda Phillips, the housing specialist here at Alta Regional. Good morning, Miss Rhonda. And Denise Hopkins, one of our veteran community services specialists. Good morning and happy Friday. And good morning to Zach, John's assistant. And Helen Neary, our other community services manager. Good morning. And I see Miss Delana Eskridge Brown. Good morning, Miss Brown. Happy Friday. And we have Michael on, our Deaf a Hard of Hearing specialist. He will be sharing always our Deaf Culture 101 and Sign of the Week. So we'll get into that. Beverly Lim, good morning, Beverly, community services specialist in Helen's unit. And I'm seeing Aida. Hi, good morning, Aida, from our case management staff. And Carol, and I see Hubert. Good morning, Hubert. He is our emergency response coordinator. So we got lots of folks on today. Thank you all so much for joining us. So for today's agenda, we will first start off with Michael for our sign of the week. And then we have two vendor spotlights today. We have Expressible Services and Lending Work. So we'll get to hear from two vendors about their services. Carly is going to be sharing some information about the I Am Able job fair and also the DSP collaborative and some job application workshops that are going to be going on. Michelle will be sharing the QIDP provider directory updates. We also want to make sure that everybody has the rate reform updates information, so Michelle will go over that. DDS just released their Bridges newsletter, so we'll kind of show folks what's highlighted this month in that newsletter, and so you guys can do some further research on that and reading if you'd like. And then we also just have a couple of events from our events calendar. So I am going to make Michael a co-host right this second so that we can hear from him on our sign of the week. Michael, where'd you go? I'm trying to find you here in my list of folks. Just 1 second. Maybe
I'm
you're
waving. Not sure if you could see me.
hold on just 1 second. I couldn't find you in the list, so now I gotta find your photo. Oh, just 1 second.
He's on page 2.
He's in page.
It shows that he's a co-host right now.
Oh, perfect. That's why he's at the top. So he wasn't in alpha order. Okay, perfect. So Michael, we'll go ahead and have you present your sign of the week, and I will spotlight you.
Hello, everybody, and good morning. So for this week's sign of the week, we have 2 words for you. Hello and goodbye. So first we'll start with hello. Now, there are 2 different ways that you can sign hello. The first one is this way. You use the 5 hand shape, turn it into a B hand shape like you're going to salute. Hello, like this. Or just a wave like this. Simple wave. Hello. Okay. Secondly, goodbye. like this. Very easy. Or the wave again. Hello, goodbye. Okay. So those ones are pretty simple and basic for today. So now we're going to be moving into Deaf Culture 101. So my question here is, why would deaf children need a deaf role model? So deaf and hard of hearing kids do need to see adult deaf and hard of hearing folks. That way they can feel more confident and proud in who they are. It's important that they have that feeling of connection. If they do not have a adult deaf and hard of hearing role model to look up to, they typically think that they are the only deaf person in the world. And they feel that way from a very young age, seeing no deaf and hard of hearing adults like them. So they start to feel left out. There's isolation. Building confidence is a struggle until they can see a deaf and hard of hearing role model. They often don't have the ability, they don't have often see successful deaf adults. But once they do see a successful deaf or hard of hearing adult, they think, oh, I can do that. I can become successful as a deaf person. Typically, without a deaf role model, deaf children think that they will grow up and become hearing, which is why it's important for them to see deaf adults out in the world and see that they are still deaf and that they still can be successful. And that they can value their identity and not concern themselves with feeling like they have to change to fit in, and to feel like they have to change to become a hearing person to thrive in a hearing world. Once they see a deaf or hard of hearing role model, they can see different ways that they can go through life, that they have more options rather than just one avenue. They can envision a different future for themselves as they journey through life. Deaf and hard of hearing, the deaf and hard of hearing community has culture, as we've mentioned, and so this would provide them the opportunity to be exposed to the culture, to the language, and to the history. That in turn would make them proud of who they are as a deaf person and their community. So how can we get a deaf role model for deaf children? We can place special speakers in, deaf and hard of hearing speakers at events for them to see that there's a deaf professional out there. There are places where they can go, social events. They can be exposed to the technology that has been developed for deaf and hard of hearing people to become successful, which can then help them realize they will become successful. In elementary school, they're constantly bringing speakers for students to see and hear from. And so if we can include deaf speakers in these, then that would reduce some of the internal struggle and confusion with thinking that their only option is to be hearing or to have a hearing role model. But we can have deaf professionals, actors, or anything for these deaf children to look up to. And there are many movies now that can be shown to show that there are successful deaf and hard of hearing adults out there. And so that kids can see this and see their disability in a positive frame. So I encourage people to bring deaf presenters, deaf professionals to these events for elementary school and young children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael. So important, right? Thank you so much for sharing. Does anybody have any questions about the deaf culture for Michael this morning? I don't see anything in the chat. All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate that. So next on our agenda, we'll go ahead and I see that Michelle is on with Expressible Services. I know Jason, you're welcome to introduce anything additional than that. But I have made you a co-host, Michelle, in case you need to share screen or anything like that.
Okay, thank you guys so much. I'm Michelle with Expressible, and we have two other Expressible attendees with us. We have Andrea Inskip, she's our clinical manager. And then we have Spencer Maglock, he's one of our co-founders. Spencer's actually going to be presenting, so I'm not sure if you're able to make him a co-host as well.
I am. I just, so Spencer, yeah, let me just get right down there and I can absolutely make Spencer a co-host.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Let me,
let me see here. There you go. Spencer, I just got your permission, so you should be able to share. if you
beautiful.
want to share.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Let me see if, is this coming through for everybody?
It sure is.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. First of all, it is wonderful. I see some familiar faces and some new faces, and just wonderful to meet all of everybody. As Michelle said, my name is Spencer, and from Expressible Speech Therapy with some of our colleagues here. At Expressible, we've had the pleasure of working with many of you, with many of the families that you serve, and it's been such a wonderful experience. And we just wanted to provide a little bit more information about our services. Expressible was founded to make all of the research behind the benefits of caregiver intervention and family-led therapy a reality for all the families that we serve. We do this in a few ways. So we do this by providing virtual therapy for families, which provides a window into the child's home environment, encourages caregiver participation, and then just some of the more functional benefits, including convenience, cutting down on commute times. We provide therapy nights and weekends as well for just a lot of accommodations and a flexibility for families, especially those that might be working multiple jobs or have limited time in their day. Additionally, or in addition to this one-on-one synchronous care, we've also spent years building a platform that's accessible to all families that provides personalized home programs that are sent every week to families. These home programs complement the skills that are being worked on in therapy. So whether that might be modeling or imitation or something like that. And they include interactive videos, instructional materials, practice activities to implement these skills into activities of daily living. And additionally, families can text their therapist throughout the week, ask them questions, get tips, support, guidance. Families love that and use that a lot. So that's a really just kind of high level about our model. Obviously, we're always here to answer any questions. We have a fair number of availability in California. And as I mentioned, we have a lot of flexibilities to serve families when is most convenient for them. And we'd love to continue being a resource for more of your families. So again, happy to answer any questions, but thank you so much for the invite and
Yeah.
for everything that y'all do.
No,
So
thank you
thank you.
so much, Spencer. Sounds like a great service. Any questions for Spencer's group?
I'll also just add real
Yeah.
fast here. So I'm our early intervention manager at Expressible. We're also in the process of finalizing our feeding contract with Alta as well. So have therapists that are have significant experience in feeding therapy, and so that will
Great.
come soon as well.
Excellent. So many families in need of that. Thank you so much. And Michelle, I don't see we have anything in the chat, right? Nope, I think we're good.
No.
Thank you so much. It was great to have you guys. Hope you stick around for the rest, but thank you so much for sharing. And then next we have Lending Works. And Danielle, I did make you a co-host if you need to share your screen for any reason.
Okay, thanks. All right, my name is Danielle Trachtenberg. I'm president of Lending Works Inc. Lori, will you introduce yourself?
And what's Lori's last name? I can also make her co-host.
Beatner.
Okay, perfect. I see her.
Okay. You're muted, Lori.
I made her a co-host as well. So
I forgot to unmute myself. I'm so sorry.
that's
Okay.
Okay. Okay, again. Hi, my name is Lori Beatner. I am the vice president of Lending Works Inc. I have been with Lending Works Inc. for 11 years. Now I will pass it over to Danielle, who will share with you our LendingWorks mission.
Okay. LendingWorks Inc. is a nonprofit run by self-advocates that gives out interest-free loans up to 3,000 to people with disabilities looking to start or expand their businesses, their small businesses. We serve both Northern and Southern California. Alta gave us our first $20 donation that got us started. We have since raised another $20,000, I think it says. There's a to date. We have given out 11 loans, which have been repaid in full. We have not been successful in getting additional loan applicants, and we are hoping that presenting in coffee with the community will help with getting loan applications here. Here's how you contact us. LendingWorksInc07@gmail.com. Our website is www.lendingworksinc.com. We will share our QR code and our YouTube video. https www.youtube.com/watch?beat=0txe. A line UJ, another line MA, capital AC.
Excellent.
All right.
What a great program, right? And I'm sure Carly, right? You can think of so many clients that could benefit from potentially getting a loan to start their own small business. And Jason, I'm not sure if we have that link, but maybe we could put that in the chat for folks if you happen to have a link for that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a look and see if I can find it.
Okay, that'll be great, right? Because Danielle and Lori, we can put the links that you guys mentioned in your presentation into the chat so that people can kind of copy and paste that over, which will be great. And that's great to hear that 11 individuals have benefited and already paid back their loan.
Mm-hmm.
What's the highest loan you guys have given out? Do you know them, like the highest amount of a loan that you guys can give, or like if there's a certain price, like a certain range?
The
And that's okay if
maximum,
not.
I
But-
think the maximum we've done
Yeah.
is $3,000.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a big help to a small business.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Excellent.
think there's no minimum,
Okay.
Yeah.
no minimum amount, but the most we can do is $3,000.
Okay, that's
Mhm.
great to know. And then we'll definitely, we definitely want to help spread the word. And I'm sure Carly, as our employment specialist, can help with that as well, making sure our case management staff are aware of your guys' service so they can consult with the individuals that are on their caseload, right? To make sure that they're aware if they're trying to start their own business, that there's programs out here, right, through the disability service system that could potentially help with a loan, which is just really exciting.
Yeah, we're based in Davis at Community and Employment
Mhm.
Services.
Awesome. That is
We've
so
actually
great.
done a highlight on LendingWorks on our website
Oh, cool.
a little while back. So I'd encourage everyone to go check that out on Alta's website. Danielle and Lori and their team were, I'm not sure if Lori was there, but attended our last micro enterprise fair as well.
Oh, great. Excellent. Does anybody have any questions for Danielle or Lori? All right. Well, it looks like we do you have anything else, Danielle or Lori, you'd like to share?
I think that's it.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you want to stay for the rest of the meeting. You're welcome to, but we'll
Okay.
definitely continue to make sure case management staff and our clients are aware of this service.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, and next on our agenda, we actually will be passing the mic to Miss Carly. I've made you a co-host so that you can share some of our exciting employment things we have going on.
Thank you, Jordan. Let me just pull this up. We just want to do a plug, first of all, for Pride Industries I Am Able Disability Job Fair coming up on October 9th. I think that's not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. This is their second annual job fair, and I think I saw Medi on. So Medi, feel free to chime in if you have any additional information you want to add. This is a free event and designed for individuals with developmental disabilities or with disabilities in general, any kind of disabilities. All the employers there that are there hiring will be there with the purpose of hiring job seekers with disabilities. So it's the last event last year was wonderful. I think there was like 600 people that ended up going. So they had to find a much larger venue to hold it this year. It was a great event. This year they have more than 30 companies there. There's some, they have some listed here, SMUD, Rayleigh's, Quick Quack. So they'll also have, I'll be there along with Shauna Frost. DOR will be there, Department of Rehabilitation, as well as some other community partners, just to provide some information and resources. They also have support with resumes and interviewing and whatnot on site there as well. So,
okay, Carly, you just covered everything. I don't have anything else to add. You literally covered everything. We're going to have lots of volunteers to support any individuals that need any extra support. If you know anybody in the Sacramento area, Roseville area that's looking for employment, please send them to that event. It does not matter if they're receiving services through Pride. Anybody and everybody is welcome to attend. There's going to be, like Carly said, over 30 employers, and these employers have been met with and provided with training regarding different disabilities and how to interview somebody with a disability. So we've prepped and supported our employers that are at this event. And Carly is correct. Last year we had over 600 people. We planned for 200. So this year we have a larger venue and we have staggered registration. So we encourage anybody to register, pre-register, please. It makes things a lot smoother. But yeah, if you know anybody, come on down. It's the I Am Able job fair. So this is our second annual, and we think it's going to be a bigger event than it was last year. So I appreciate the Regional Center support in advertising this for us. Thank you.
thanks, Medi. And again, it's going to be Wednesday, October 9th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. At the Safe Credit Union Convention Center. Again, we really encourage everyone to pre-register. As Medi said, it'll make the process go by quicker. But Medi, just to confirm, if they don't pre-register, they're still able to attend.
Absolutely. If they don't pre-register, we'll still have walk-ins available and people there to help register them and get them going. Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you,
Thank
Medi.
you so much.
And then we also want to share in preparation of the I Am Able Fair. Let me just switch on over here. We are hosting at Alta on Monday an employment workshop to support clients with completing job applications. If they have a job application that they know they want to complete, we can support them with that. Or if they're just wanting to practice and learn how to complete job applications, we can support them with that as well. TK Momentum will be there providing support. So this will be at the Harvard office, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Monday, September 30th. You can register here, but clients are more than welcome to just show up as well. I've heard that the registration link may not be working. It's working on my end. So I haven't been able to identify what may be causing it to not work for some people, but certainly if anyone would like to just, come, they're welcome to. So certainly if you have clients that you're working with that may benefit from this, especially in leading up to that I Am Able workshop or I Am Able job fair, we encourage them to attend. And both of these flyers will be put in the chat.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And then Carly, did you want to touch base on the DSP Collaborative?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
great.
we were featured, let me scooch on over here, in the Capital Currents. I'm sure at this point everyone is familiar with the DSP Collaborative. John and I talk about it enough. So we had a little feature in ARCA's Capital Currents. Tony Anderson, who's the former executive director at ARCA or at Valley Mountain Regional Center, he's now over at ARCA. He played a big part in getting the DSP Collaborative up and going, and he's still very active in it. So he included a bit of a blurb in there, just kind of sharing information about what the DSP Collaborative is. Again, this was a combined effort between Alta and Valley Mountain Regional Center to address the workforce shortage among our DSPs. So some of the efforts that we have made to address this were are doing disability industry career expos, or how we call them DICE, the job fairs specifically for our vendors. We're aiming to do about 2 a year, and that way, our vendors can come to job fairs and not be competing with, employers from other fields, the job seekers who go there. It's the intention that they're there wanting to join this field. So we're really just trying to bring a lot more attention and awareness to what our field is. We've also launched social media pages, Facebook and Instagram for the DSP Collaborative. They kind of go into the goals for the content in this article here, promoting DSPs, promoting the website, highlighting, possible career paths for DSPs. Again, we also have the dspcollaborative.org, which is a free job board for all of our vendor providers that they can utilize. Job seekers can go on, select from, any county that they want to look for, and then see all the vendor providers that are searching for staff in those areas. So it was just, a very, very neat little shout out in the Capital Currents that you guys can go look at if I'm sure most of you probably get this as well. So definitely encourage you guys to go take a look and read through it when you have a moment.
Thank you so much, Carly. So exciting to see all the momentum around not only competitive employment for the individuals that we serve, but really uplifting, that DSP workforce. So imperative for our service system, So thankful for our DSPs. Any questions for Carly, folks, or any of the events that are happening? Okay, cool. If so, you can put it in the chat as well. Carly will be on for the rest of the meeting. Thank you so much, Carly. And I will pass the mic over to Miss Michelle. She's got some updates for us for the QIDP.
All right. Thank you, Jordan. Can you see the directive, Jordan?
We can. Thank you so
All
much.
right. So I wanted to share this directive with everyone. It's going to be it's a lot of information in here. So it's going to be kind of a high level overview. But we received this on the 23rd of this month regarding the quality incentive program. So I'll kind of just scan through this. So in the first part here, just kind of goes over the overview of what the provider directory is and why it is being developed. And then it talks about the preparation. So the stages of rollout. So I know that most of you know that we're pretty much complete with the data collection piece. That was the first step in this transition for creating this provider directory. The second step is kind of where we're at now. Now, I wanted to ask anyone on if anyone has received an email regarding validation. Has any provider received that at all? No. Okay. So we originally were told that on the 16th it was going to go live. So we were hopeful that that timeline they were going to meet. However, we did try to log and do that, and we reached out to DDS, and there was some additional time that they needed to pull this together. So the service provider registration and validation is our next step. So and that is going in and like we talked about before, confirming vendor number, your contact information, address, and local human points of contact. So approximately 1 week after completion of step 1, and we have a timeline down here we'll go over. Please look out for your email that you have on file that you provided for this email right here, the CADDSPROD@ServiceNowServices.com. So that's where that validation email is going to come into you guys for you guys to connect and validate your information. So once completed, service providers will have the option to export. So once you go in there, you'll be able to export your confirmation of the completion. And the reason that this is important because we're going to talk about some incentive payments. So service providers that submit the request information by November 8th of this year will be eligible for an incentive payment, which is described in our next section there. If unforeseen technical issues are identified, this date may be extended, but November 8th is the current deadline. So types of incentives. So for the time period of January 1 of 2025 through June 30th of 2026, there are different incentives available for providers to earn depending on their current reimbursement rate that relate to the rate reform. The first one I just wanted to kind of share with you guys. I know that you guys have heard that the one lump sum for the incentive payments may be earned by service providers that complete steps 1 and 2 by November 8th. This one-time incentive payment amounts are established by the number of vendors associated with a service provider's organization, as shown in the table below. So I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. So it looks like number of vendors over here, eligible service codes. So 1 to 5, you will receive $2,500 per vendor number with a max of 5,000 and so on. So 6 to 8, you'll receive $1,250 per vendor number with a max of 10,000 for the lump sum. And then it goes down a little bit here. The rate reform reimbursements are established for 2 payment components, a base rate equaling 90% of the rate model and incentive rate payment equaling 10%. So service providers included in the rate reform with a current rate that is less than 100% are eligible for the quality incentive payments and the lump sum. So it kind of goes down in here and it provides, and I'm going to give you guys a link to this. You can kind of see where you are as a provider and what incentives that you will receive, the lump sum and the quality incentive. And that all depends on the rate that you guys will be receiving. So let me scroll down a little bit here. So this is our provider directory timeline. As you can see, the data submission I talked about, we're right at the end. It looks like October 4th. So as we're looking here, the next step is our registration like I talked about. So that will be coming out probably in the next couple of weeks. Once we get a determined date, we will share that with you guys. Like I said, it was pushed back a little bit. And then there's an attachment to this directive. And this is kind of going over, and I'll kind of go slow and I'll share this with you guys. So the service codes that are eligible for the provider directory one-time lump sum incentive payment. And they have quite a list here. It's 2 pages. So I will make sure to get that over to you guys so that you guys can review that. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I know John will be providing an update on the rate reform next week as well. Here's the DDS's website where we were able to locate this information. And I know that Jordan is going to go over the Bridges newsletter. So I just kind of wanted to let you guys know. So in the DDS website under the rate reform directives and updates, if you click this link right here, it will take you to a form where you can request to receive these updates. There's actually a contact form where you will select and give it 1 second. Apparently I already registered, so it won't show. There we go. So so here is the form where you can put in for your contact information so you can get further updates on this as well. And like I said, so we do have a dedicated provider directory at altaregional.org inbox. So if you guys have any other questions on that, you want to verify some information that you have on file, we're kind of past that point at this time, but we're more than happy to support and reach out to clarify any questions that you guys may have.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Mhm.
Any folks have questions? I know it's exciting to be kind of getting more of these updates, right? So that this is moving along for January 2025. Hi, Eric. Go ahead from UCP.
Hi, I had to step out and I got a little distracted during that presentation. So I don't know if you mentioned that yesterday was the QIP webinar that DDS provided, and I thought I'd put in the chat the handouts to the slides for folks that are interested
Great.
in learning a little bit about that. Did you already mention that?
I did not. We don't have the recording, but do you have the recording or the slides?
I
That
have
would
the
be great.
slides. The
Okay.
recording will be available ever. The recording is very much worth listening into.
Yes.
It starts off with some discussion about the provider directory, which I think is helpful. We're actually very happy that they did provide a date, which they weren't doing before. So that November date, it's nice to have a hard date that we need to make sure folks are compliant by. The department received strong feedback from advocates and providers that they need to send out some sort of verification, and that I'm not surprised that nobody here has gotten that. That was the feedback that we gave the department, that they really need to have some sort of communication because people often registered or submitted workbooks and we just never have heard back. So we're hopeful that that's coming in the next little bit. The second half of the meeting, there's a lot more about QIP than this provider directory. It's not going to be fully implemented until after June 30th, 2026, but I'd highly recommend folks take a look at the broader picture for QIP and some of the concerns. The department did start to signal, although I'm not going to get my hopes up. They were open to having a conversation about maybe reformulating the QIP in some way. So they talked about maybe revisiting mission and vision, and are we doing the right thing? So they got a lot of feedback from providers that maybe the current QIP activities are not sufficient enough to meet our needs, and that the regulations around QIP maybe need to be changed. So there's a lot of that discussion. So I encourage folks, when that recording is available, I'll put the link of where it'll be posted. So
Thank you, Eric. Yeah.
I'll put that in there. It's not up yet that I saw. No.
Yeah, we did definitely have I know some of our community services staff were on for that yesterday. Some of us had other meetings, so I'll have to watch the video, but I'm glad to hear that it was beneficial. Does anybody have any questions for Eric regarding that, or in general, the rate reform as one of our PAC members? All right. Well, thank you so much, Eric. Anything else on that note? No, cool. And we'll of course continue to share as we learn information, right? John Decker will continue to share that every Friday here at our Coffee with Community Services. And we will be continuing to keep you guys informed. I also know we're doing, when we get these directives about the rate study or the QIDP, the rate reform, we're making sure to send that out on MailChimp from our mass out to email. So if you are a vendor, please make sure you're signed up for those notices so that you're getting these important updates. And as Michelle said, right, that you can also sign up on the DDS website to make sure you're getting these rate reform updates. All right, cool. So I will then move on to our next agenda item, which is going to be our Bridges newsletter from DDS. So I'm going to share my screen, folks. Give me just a moment. You seeing my screen okay?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. So I will also, do you mind putting this link in the chat for folks, Michelle? Do you mind doing that to the newsletter?
Yeah, I will.
On our agenda. Thank you so much. So as you can see for the newsletter, they have some highlighted topics. So I'm going to touch on a few of these. And I know this is very true to Hubert's heart, right? It's fire season, folks, as we know, being Californians, right? We're very aware that summer and the fall here can be very detrimental in regards to natural disasters and fires. So on the DDS's website, they have a link here to their emergency preparedness plan page, right? So folks can stay informed, and also a list of all the wildfire emergency preparedness, other resources and websites that are available. So, and you can also, on every article, you'll see here that they have an opportunity for you to sign up to receive this Bridges letter. So that's something else that you can click on to be signed up. And Hubert, if you have anything to add at that tidbit, but I know it's fire season, right? Tis the season to be prepared.
Yeah, just to add on to this, you can always sign up for Cal Alerts for regarding to your related county. So I can drop the link in here, and then yeah, I can actually show you guys if you want to.
Yeah, I can stop sharing. That's perfect.
Cool. So just do this. I'll share my screen. Oh,
let me make you a co-host really quick.
no worries.
Sorry about that, Hubert. Just 1 second. Having a technical difficulty, just 1 moment. There you are. Make you a co-host. Okay, there you go, Hubert.
So something pretty basic I like to share with our communities is just Cal Alerts on staying updated on what's going on within their county. I'm not sure if everyone can see what's going on here. Okay, cool. So you go to calalerts.org. On the top right corner, you just click sign up. And you can actually choose what county you live in, what county you want to get notifications on for different types of emergencies. It's coming from local municipalities and jurisdictions. So not just wildfires, but if there were to be an active shooter in the area, or if there were to be an earthquake or winter storm. So this is a way that you can get and stay updated as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Hubert. Any questions on that, folks? All right, cool. It's great to have those resources to stay well informed. Then I'm going to go back to sharing our newsletter here from DDS. Other things that they're highlighting for the month of September, if you are an individual who likes to follow different agencies on social media, they have a link here for you to sign up for their social media page. Something I know that's very important for all of us is you guys seeing this? Yeah. The deaf and hard of hearing, right? It's the awareness month for deaf and hard of hearing. And they're highlighting information from Lisa Gonzalez here, right? I'm going to go ahead and read it for folks. So September is the Deaf Awareness Month. It is time to learn about and uplift the experiences of individuals who are deaf, hard of hearing, or deaf-blind. The term deaf is used for people who may identify as deaf, deaf-blind, deaf plus, deaf-disabled, hard of hearing, or late deaf-ended. It recognizes the fluidity of personal identity and acknowledges the experiences of our diverse community. So since 2022, the department has supported Deaf Californians under the guidance of their deaf access specialist, Lisa Gonzalez. For those of you guys who are able to attend the Being Michelle event, she also was one of the panel speakers there, very informed, great advocate for our service system. In addition, as the deaf specialist, as we all know, right, Michael is our deaf and hard of hearing specialist, and each regional center now is required to have a deaf and hard of hearing specialist. And the expansion of that support staff has led to the first Deaf Plus conference that was held in December of 2023. Deaf resources and a lot of new ideas, right? And really supporting that culture. So services have increased statewide between service access equity, awarded grants, and community resource development plan projects. And then virtually statewide trainings are also being developed. And a request for proposal for new language and community assessment tools and sign language has also been released. So if you are interested, folks, right, they have the deaf and hard of hearing resource page. I'll go ahead and click on that for folks. But this is a resource, right, for all of you. So please know that if you're interested in learning more or staying up to date on those resources, that DDS has this webpage. And you guys know, obviously, that you can also reach out to Michael Mercado, our deaf and hard of hearing specialist, should you want some consultation or support in that area. Lots of things going on in September, right? We have the master plan for developmental disability services. So they have an update on that. The NCIS family survey, so you can share your experiences, right? So we have that is also happening. And for those of you service providers, it's great to make sure that the individuals served are aware of the Consumer Advisory Committee, right? So the department's Consumer Advisory Committee provides advice on policies, programs, legislation, and regulation that affect the lives of Californians with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So on this committee are at least 15 self-advocate members of all over California, and they meet at least 4 times a year. So if you are working with an individual receiving regional center services and they are interested in becoming a member of the Consumer Advisory Committee, please provide them this information and support them with that process if they need that. Let's see what else they have for us. They have an update on that there has been an increase to access to social services grants and programs. So it is awesome to hear that more than 2,830 new social and recreational activities have been created through the social rec grants. I know Helen and Christy Schaefer on our teams, they worked on some of the social rec grants with our providers. And there's been over 13,000 individuals and families have benefited from these new activities and in over 400 different locations. So the American Resource Plan Act provided $12.5 million for the enhancement of community integration of children and adolescents that we refer to as social rec grants. So if you are interested in learning more about those grants and the awarded projects, you can click on to DDS's website here and get information about that community integration grants. You can also, if you want to learn more about being an ombudsman, right, or about who an ombudsman person is, ombudsperson, I guess is the formal term now. You can click that link. One link that I did want to highlight here is the Your Plan, right? So the regional centers, right, have been tasked with developing a statewide IPP template, individual program plan template, that will be looked at being released in January of 2025. So this page really is a resource for the individuals we serve and their support systems, right? To really, it's an actual guide that explains the new format and the description of what person-centered IPP really is. And it helps kind of that individual identify their preference, their strengths, and their goals. And it'll provide them an opportunity to learn more about person-centered planning, tips for, things to do before and after your planning team meeting to prepare that individual to develop their annual plan, and working through that. So there is an IPP page here on DDS's website. You can see as a resource, and then they also have some IPP templates. So we as a regional center, of course, will be keeping you guys apprised of that and getting our case management staff, right, trained on that new template as that is going to roll out statewide. And I don't know, case management, if you have any other tidbit, but that's just the information that is being shared by case management, by DDS right now. And then also big thank you, right? Big thank you to our DSPs, our direct support professionals. So this is highlighting some of those efforts for our our DSPs. So if you're interested in seeing more of that, right, please check out the Bridges News article. And then one other event, any questions on these events? I know Michelle put it in the chat. If you guys are interested in the newsletter, right, you can sign up for that. Lots of current events, good to stay informed on the DDS side. I also wanted to share with you guys an event that John let us know about. Michelle, are you seeing the Latino flyer?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the Latino Book and Family Festival is coming up this Saturday. That's going to be at Sacramento City College right there on Freeport Boulevard. And it's going to be from 10 to 3, but they are encouraging folks to come and discover new worlds, explore diverse perspectives, and connect with Elsie Guerrero, an author of many children's books that amplify children with disabilities and raise awareness on social issues. There'll be some books that will be available for purchase and also signature by Elsie. So for those that might be interested, that is a great opportunity for our clients and families. Also, in regards to, I'm going to stop sharing for just one moment so I can arrange my shared topics here. We only have just a few moments left, but we also always like to just remind folks that you can access the Alta Regional events calendar at any time. I'll put this in the chat here in just a moment, but some of the upcoming events that we have coming on just this weekend as well, from 8 to 4 on Saturday, is the Kids Triathlon Swim, Bike, Run, and Roll event, right? And that's something, the Walk with Austin, that we had previously mentioned. So if you guys are going to be up in that area, please, give that a check out. The 4th annual There Should Be a Law contest is coming to kind of a closure for ideas. So if you ever have had a problem or thought that there should be a law to fix it, you can render some thoughts and opinions on that. The contest actually runs through September 30th. So that deadline is coming up on Monday. So if you have an idea, there's a link right here to submit your idea straight to the State Council on Developmental Disabilities, and they will look at announcing the winning idea at the LPPC meeting on October 15th. So if you have any questions about that, there's a policy email address here that you can reach out to State Council on Developmental Disability. But we all know that there's things that we wished, if we ruled the world, right, or we were making law, that we could render some opinions on that. So please, this is a chance to kind of provide some feedback. So that's available to you here on our events calendar. We also know that Office of Clients' Rights is having their 25th anniversary, and kind of a drop-in to network and to share resources and to meet folks. So if that's something that you're interested in, that's happening Thursday on October 3rd from 10 to 1. All that can be found here on our events calendar. We have the Latino Leadership Council Health Fair is coming up on October 5th from 10 to 2. And that is going to be at the Granite Wellness Center located in Lincoln, California. So some of our folks up in Placer County. And there's lots of events that are going to be happening in October. So there's also the Step Up for Down Syndrome Walk. So if you guys are interested in participating in that, that's going to be Sunday, October 6th. I saw another fun one. As we know, Carly talked about the Disability Fair. And I'm not going to try to give anybody motion sickness. We got lots going on. Oh, we have the Auburn Big Powwow that's going to be happening on October 19th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. So a full day of activities up there at the Gold County Fairgrounds and Event Center. That's going to be in Auburn. And Ponies and Pumpkins. How fun does that sound? Ponies and Pumpkins always sounds like a good idea. So the Therapeutic Riding and Off-Track Rehabilitation Program is doing a fundraiser on Sunday, October 20th from 9 to 3. There'll be events and pony rides and booths, all in an effort to raise funds for this program. So you guys are always welcome to reach out to Alta and check out the events calendar. We hope you guys are also signed up for all of our announcements. So I will put the calendar in the chat. But that's really what we had for the bulk of our agenda today. Is anybody else have any agenda items before the end here? Anything they'd like to raise with the group? Okay, well, thank you all so much for participating today. John Decker, like we mentioned, will be back next Friday. And I hope you all have a nice weekend and enjoy this warm weather that we're continuing to get this fall. So have a good day, everyone.